Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Ohio Skater, Zach here. Another bad vlog from my bed, basically. I just want to make this more quicker, hopefully. Try not to take up too much of your time, but I want to make a quick vlog about my religion, my religious views, my religion, basically. So I was raised Catholic, and I got confirmed and everything in the Catholic Church up to confirmation. Basically, I did everything you got to do up to confirmation. I went to PSR, which is these religious classes that you take on weekdays when you don't go to a private school or whatever. But you can still take like religious classes. So basically, I did that and I got confirmed and everything. But then I was never really into it, and I was basically agnostic for like 10 years. I would tell, so sometimes when I was young, I would tell my parents like we gotta go to church, and I would tell them to take me to church, and that was cool. I liked reading the scripture, and I liked listening to the sermons, basically, because it was all. But I was always sort of debating in my head. I was always sort of debating with the priest, in my mind, sort of having a little mental debate in my head. Because I liked to challenge it. So then I eventually became agnostic for like 10 years, basically. I was an agnostic. I would say I was an agnostic atheist. I wouldn't have called myself an agnostic atheist. I would have just said I was agnostic. I didn't really know about agnostic atheism as a thing until more recently, but I was agnostic dead ass, and I believed in what basically an agnostic atheist believes in, that there is no proof. There can be no proof either way. There can be no proof either way. There can be no proof of existence of God, and there can be no proof that God does not exist. There can be no proof either way, is basically what I thought. And so I didn't care, basically. It wasn't that I didn't believe in God or that religion had any impact. I just I didn't see any reason for me to think about it, because it's just an unanswerable question. But then I realized I went to a I joined Facebook. I made a new Facebook account, and I met this guy that went to this Protestant church, non-denominational church. A lot of young people at this church, people my age, late 20s, early 30s, young people at this church, this non-denominational church, which was basically a Protestant church, and I talking to these people, I told them I was agnostic, and I told them what that meant to me, what I just said, and they, what they said is like, there is no proof, right? There is no proof. They admitted that there is no proof. You can't. It's not something you can prove with science. But they explained to me that faith is something separate from science, and faith is just what you believe. Faith is what you believe, right? And science can't prove everything that you believe, right? But you still believe things, and in the grand scheme of things, did it give you a better life, and did it make you a better person, and was it worth it in the grand scheme of things if it was all based on faith? And looking at Christianity, the way it changes people's lives for the better in many cases, I took that step, and I joined this church for a while, and I became baptized again. I got baptized again. Basically, I got baptized as a Protestant. I've been baptized as a Catholic, and I've been baptized as a Protestant. I'm baptized as both the biggest types of Christianity, basically. in America at least. You also got the Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox, but that's a whole other thing. You got Oriental Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox, and you got a whole bunch of different types of. You got Mormons, but anyway, I basically I joined this church and went to many events and went to many services, and it was great. But see, I'm gonna back up. I'm going a little out of order here, but I'm gonna back up. So, before I joined the church, before I got back into Christianity, I was into Taoism, the Chinese religion, Taoism, basically the Tao, the Yin Yang, the going with the flow, and basically not being authoritarian and letting things fall into place by taking a backseat and just letting things happen, and being chill, and the right thing will happen if you trust in the universe, and the unity of opposites. For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So just how opposites play into our lives, and stuff like that, basically. And then I went to a Unitarian Universalist church, which Unitarian Universalists, they believe in a little bit of everything, I guess. It's basically, so Unitarian, that's people who believe that Jesus was just a normal human, sort of, not really son of God, but an important human that brought us closer to God, sort of. But Universalist means that, and Universalist, what I more identified with was that all religions have have universal common themes that they all operate by, and you can just study how they intersect in its where all the world's religions connect and intersect, and where it all comes together, is sort of what they talk about. But it's about your own personal search for truth, is what it's about. Your own personal search for truth is what it's about. So went to that church, believed in Taoism for a little bit, and I still believe in Tao. I believe in a lot of things. I believe it doesn't matter what religion you are, you can go to heaven, because there are universal common themes in all religions that intersect, and you are good, basically, if you believe in what general humans believe in, the general humanity of people. If you believe in what most humans would find good, like that's you're good, basically. But Christianity is more from where I'm coming from, because I was raised in a Catholic household. So it's just what I identify with, and I feel like I'm sort of ingrained into it. And so that's the religion that makes me feel the good things that really being into a religion would make you feel, because I went through all that shit, and I was raised that way. You know what I'm saying? So but it's all about the state of mind. See, I've read some books, sort of evidence for an afterlife, evidence for a beginning of the universe, and evidence for an afterlife, and the way psychedelics and religion, and what it seems like to me is it's about having a content state of mind. But we all have this human instinct where if we do good, we are content, and if we don't, we are not content. So if you are content, it means you've done good, and if you do good, you'll be content. And when you're content at the end of your life, when the chemicals rush to your brain as you're dying, you'll have a good trip, basically. But I think it's more than that. But you know what I mean. That's the basics. So it's like see, I believe our souls are part of us, right? I believe in souls, right? And I believe what essentially happens is your soul becomes, from the research that I've done, what essentially happens is your soul essentially becomes part of this collective of souls that is that is that is that exists out there when you're sort of you lose your sense of self and you become one with all the souls. But then I believe you can get recycled into new life, whether that be in what we would call a heaven or whether that be reincarnation or something like that. But I think Jesus is a good example of how we can attain a positive afterlife. So the way Jesus taught us to live, if you live that way, basically you will go to what I'm talking. You'll go where I'm talking about. The good part of what I'm talking about, you'll go there. A lot of religions can offer that, but Jesus is one way, and Jesus is the way that I follow. And I also believe in the Tao. I believe in some force or whatever you could call it. You can't really describe it, but I believe in natural. I believe in nature, and I believe essentially God created natural laws and natural science, but the Tao might be that thing, that one thing that is common in all natural science, or something like that. Yeah. So I still like to read about Taoism, and I still like to read about Christianity. I've read lots of different types of Christian stuff, and I've read some different Taoist texts, and I think I got a handle on the basics. And I think Taoism has become more of a philosophy anyway these days. So you can have a philosophy and you can have a religion, and so there's a book called Christ the Eternal Tao, which is basically a combination of Taoism and Christianity. It's the story of the Bible told through like this Taoist style of poetry, told through the style of the Tao Te Ching. But anyway, I'm trying not to make this video too long, so I'll just peace out right now. But it's been good talking to you. Anyway, peace.